Okay, listen. I know that some things might have been said last night, or maybe they weren't. Fuck you. I did a little bit more investigating into the story that we call, it's actually a beloved story, Superman, that guy from Krypton. Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Okay, listen. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Because people do. You know what I'm saying? I knew something was funny. He could have just said that he's gonna go get laid and shit, dude. And I'm knowing, dude. But if he was really smart, dude, he wouldn't even be plotting on Lois Lane. He'd be plotting on Lana Lane, right? You know what I'm saying? Lana Lane, like the redhead and shit. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I'll call back. Okay, this is what he should have done. But somehow, sometimes, guys get stuck in these things and stuff, dude, and you're not, it's not really like, okay, all right, but then, like, sometimes you're just like, oh, hey, like, whatever, but still, like, whatever. So, but he does, but Lois Lane, sometimes, dude, like, let me tell you stuff, dude. Like, when you work close to somebody, dude, like, you go to work, dude, like, every day with him and stuff, dude, and, and then, like, one day, dude, you're just sitting there, dude, it's not really rocket science and stuff, dude. Suppose like she's putting up some folders and stuff, dude, like in a corner and stuff, dude. And then like you reach over and stuff, because you're putting like some other stuff and stuff, right? You realize that these two parts go together and there's a connection all of a sudden. No child has been born yet, but we're passing out flyers. So listen, all this stuff is going on and stuff, right? So, don't tell me you heard it before because you're lying. At the same time, it's like, this is what could happen at work, like I said, I have said this before, only you know the true signs of sexual harassment, dude, and it's really up to you to report that shit. Listen, I'm serious, just listen, you're at work, you're on your computer. They come in from lunch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could be having fun, or else this could be sexual harassment. Listen, it's really up to you to investigate, and if you do, I think you should be very brave. I think that, but let me let you know, if you get caught behind enemy lines, we're going to deny any knowledge of your existence. So, you begin to do a little investigation into sexual harassment at work. Okay, you're behind the scenes. You're behind the scenes. You're hiding behind there and stuff. Like, look at, okay, everything's all gravy and stuff, dude. That's cool and stuff, dude. You're doing, because you're getting the goods, dude. You're getting the scoop, dude. Especially, you see her and, you're walking down there and stuff, dude. You duck into another room. Shit like that, dude. Because you're trying to get to the bottom of a goddamn sexual harassment case. So at the same time and stuff, dude, knowing that you got credentials. Knowing this, you're knowing, dude. These dudes don't know that I'm working on a sexual harassment case, right? Like whatever and shit. Because once we find out, nigga, we'll be like, what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, it's like whoopty wop, nigga. No, I'm already knowing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's dude, because you're going to hear it from, because, first of all, the bitch, listen, bitch. Okay, let's just say that this is sexual harassment week at work and shit. Why you didn't tell nobody, nigga? You get to work and shit, nigga. Goddamn well they're looking for people that are sexually harassing people. You know what I'm saying, and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And, you could have just, it's just like a simple, I'm just a phone call away. All you had to do, dude, was just go ahead and just call. Like, yeah, they're gonna be, looking for sexual harassers. I'm thinking about it and shit, nigga, because that bitch back there by the computer, I want to fuck that too. At the same time, it's all going down and shit. But now, I'm telling you, dude, it's serious, dude. It's like identity theft, dude. That shit is hella serious. If you go to your neighbor's house and he tells you he's somebody else, then where's my neighbor? So at the same time, like people will sit back and they think about stuff like that. They're like, oh, okay. It's really, but listen, back to sexual harassment, man. He's a sexual harassment officer. Dun, 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 dun. You see him like jump on the back of a car. like fucking like William Shatner, dude. Harry O. You know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga. the fakest motherfucker of all time is Barnaby Jones, bitch ass shit. I'll be like, this you pretend. I'm going to ask those motherfucking questions. That nigga come out of shit looking like, some kind of lost Muppet or something. Shit, nigga, like, tall ass white dude. You know what I'm saying? This shit, nigga, asking questions. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This shit, nigga, hoping he say my name there. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I'm like, shit. You should leave that cross, that nigga across the street, nigga, do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nigga, check out these trash cans. You know, shit, it ain't gonna be nothing but a gang of commotion. Bitch look out the window and shit, you like, damn, nigga. You know? Shit, nigga, fuck that. So then, bam, all the things is going right. But look, you're back at work. It's after lunch. Sexual harassment agent, he's on the job, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You come back in, yeah, it's cool, woo, and shit. Oh, we're going to do content on Saturday. Everything's going down. But this could be sexual harassment. And he's an agent. He's standing back there. He's ready. He's prepared to make a strike. I struck that nigga straight the fuck out. He come fucking with me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there. You know what I'm saying? You want to come around asking and shit. You know what I'm saying? Do I know her? Yeah, I know her. She was over at the house last night playing flip-flop, flapjack, patty cacks, black attacks. Play out of that, just like that. Why are you asking all these questions? So all this other kind of stuff, right? It's going diesel. But he's a sexual harassment agent. And he's known throughout the whole office. You know what I'm saying? That he's going to get the job done. He'll vacuum after everybody's gone. It's really nothing. You know what I'm saying? But really what he's really working on is that sexual harassment case. It fucks with him at night when he goes to sleep. He's like sitting there just thinking somebody's doing it. And then like when you come back to the work, you're not really, it's not really nothing. It's not really nothing. You sitting there, you get a little soap on your hands and shit. Now nigga start asking questions. You be like, look, nigga. Fuck around, get hit with a paper roll and shit, nigga, all at work. You know what I'm saying, nigga? The whole motherfucking paper is a bland, nigga. Like, what? Asking questions about my sex life, nigga. Is you stupid? You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Then at the same time, it's all gravy and shit, nigga. Cause niggas want to start harassing, like harassing you, dude, for sexual harassment. It's a crime, dude. You know what I'm saying? You can get caught for that shit. If you're at work, dude, because that's what I do. I don't know, dude. I'm just like one of the few that can, do shit like that. I'm like stacking them up. I'm a fucker, too. I'm a fucker, and I'm a fucker. That's just me. You right? So it's like, you got a little list going. You're like, yeah, after I talk to this bitch, that's me. So at the same time, you're sitting there and it's all going good till the bitch just flip on you and shit. Then you're like, you boy held up, missy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I thought your ass was perfect. Now you just get on my nerves. Shit like that. It's going to bring this thing to a head. So at the same time, motherfuckers is like, but, at work, after work, just imagine if you were like at work, dude, you were undercover as a sexual harassment agent. You know what I'm saying? Just, you're looking around, dude. You're trying to make sure, dude, that, because, you're going to look at every nook and cranny and shit, dude, make sure ain't nobody doing nothing. And at the same time, while you do that, you gotta keep a journal of the log and stuff in your car, dude. You're like, looking around and stuff, writing down, yeah, I saw him walking to the closet, stuff like that. At the same time, most people, they're not thinking about that. But sexual harassment, dude, it's a crime, mister. And it's not a crime that I want to get caught for, dude. Because sometimes it can get wicked, dude. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can get wicked. You know what I'm saying? Niggas just end up fucking in the bathroom. Niggas like, fuck that shit. Nigga, it was really nothing. You know what I'm saying? Except the nigga that try to fall in love, nigga, at work. You're like, damn, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't hit and shit, nigga. You trying to hit too and shit. Bam, bam, bam. You kind of mad and shit, nigga. Like, whatever and shit, nigga. You like, whoopie whoop. Shit, nigga, my truck is hella tight. Woo, woo. Like, whatever and shit. She might just be fucking him just to get at you. You know what I'm saying? Look at the whole picture. So then at the same time, all these things are going down. It's your life. That's your life. You just go to work every day. Just imagine it. You should act like you had a freak store or something. These bitches ain't even at your house. You know what I'm saying? You can get away with this shit. So at the same time, you're like sitting there. And I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying there. Just imagine. You're a stranger in a strange land. Here you are, a black man, around all kind of white bitches. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, like whatever. They start talking that old stupid ass shit. They think the cranberries and shit zombie, they're all over that. I'm like, dude, you guys are fucking corny, dude. She's like, oh, you're like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like the metal militia for them, for females, dude. Zombies like, oh, yeah. Headbangers ball, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's a headbangers ball, dude, for them. Yeah, dude, it comes out. Oh, yeah. For them, dude, it's like a metal moment, dude. It's the most metal, dude. This bitch rocks. You know what I'm saying? You guys are all over there, dude. Just like, it is, dude. It's stupid, dude. It's like, because some chicks, dude, they'll get like a song, dude, and they'll swear it rocks, dude. It might rock, dude, for like a minute and shit, dude. But, I'd be like, shit, bitch, you ain't doing that shit in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So at the same time, you know what I'm saying? People get their little attitudes and stuff, dude. Like, if you're sitting around, dude, like, trying to make something for everybody to listen to or watch, dude, like, who are you? At the same time, most of the time, people are going to sit there. But look, we're straying. We're straying away from the fact that sexual harassment agent is still at work. So the next day, you get to work. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? You've been, smack them, yak them. Smacking them up. Smacking them up in the back. You know what I'm saying? This one for Sheezy though. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? You're on the case, nigga, like Harry Hound. Then, at the same time though, but then the sexual harassment agent number 5. He'll get his man, you know what I'm saying? Believe me, you know what I'm saying? He's been on the case for a long, hey, these sexual harassment back up on sexual harassment agent number 5. He's a good dude. The argument and stuff, dude. We all gotta answer questions. Oh, but he's leading a double life because sexual harassment agent number 5, dude, is actually, sometimes it happens, dude. Like, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, dude, who knows what he was thinking, dude, but he got caught because he told his girl cousin. So look, sexual harassment agent number 5 is actually, she's like his third cousin, but he's in love and shit. He's trying to get with her, but he knows it's wrong because she's at work too, and that's sexual harassment, mister. It's the only thing that's really stopping him. How can I be a defender of sexual harassment laws and then me get involved in it myself? It doesn't make sense. Damn it, none of it does anymore. But anyway, I'm just saying. I said all that to say, dude, that first of all, I know that Clark Kent You know, so, well, Superman, he told her that, you know, he was Superman, you know, and niggas was like at first, but then, just like we said, you know, I was like, well, that's the reason why she always wanted me Clark, nigga, so she can talk shit about him. She was like, yeah, you know, I think he's weak. You know, they laying on a big ass ice bed. You know, yeah, Clark, he comes to work every day. You know, he's all goddamn it, he's a news reporter. You know, and stuff like whatever and stuff, right? Because he was already, I'm Superman, I told you. At first, everybody was like, okay, we're probably going to be out of here. But then it's like, wait. I say, hey, she's asking questions. You know, next on Trapper John. Oh, Trapper John. He's all driving. Oh shit. He's all, it's just everything just different. Why? I don't know. Maybe we should go to Canada, you know? And they just show pictures, they're all doing like, you know, it's just like nothing. They get back, he's got to deal with more bills. Next on Trapper John. Oh shit. You know, where are you taking him? He's guilty. No. Anyway, Kane, bitch, I was just letting you guys know that, you know, sexual harassment is real. It happens around you every day. Some people never get over it. You know what I'm saying? And shit, dude, like whatever and shit, dude. He's like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Fuck your stepmom. I'll fuck your real mom, dude. You know, some people are never really able to like get over it and shit, dude. And at the same time, you know, or these are just butts of jokes that people tell like around and thinking that it's not gonna hurt anyone. Words can be like bullets. That's when you realize you're behind enemy lines. So you got yourself a little plot. Now on CBS, you not. So anyway, I'm just telling you guys, dude, you know, that was a good one. I'm telling you, dude, it's Kane, bitch. Kane AD is coming, guaranteed, dude. Why would I just sit here and lie to you guys online? You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. You know, those are people that, you know, there's people in there that you can trust. Wait, you can't get your money back. We just gonna eat this beer. Oh, Kane, bitch.